Hey YouTube, it's Faye, and for today's video, I'm going to talk about this, the new key fob for the Mark V Supra and how to replace the battery.
While the number of car-centered reality shows premiered in the last 2 decades isn't small, very few of them have a predominantly female cast. One of those rare cases is the popular All-Girls Garage, hosted by several automotive experts who, besides doing a great job at handling some of the most complex automotive projects, also prove that there's nothing that women can't do. Though the show's success is undeniable, there's also no denying that since its premiere in 2012, All Girls Garage has gone through many changes, including saying goodbye to some of its most popular cast members. However, have any of these changes affected the spot in the show of the popular mechanic Faye Hadley, or is she still in it? What is she doing in her everyday life? And how did she rise to fame in the first place? Stay with us to learn about Faye's whereabouts, her career, and so much more. Those who haven't kept up to date with Faye Hadley's whereabouts will surely be happy to know that she's as active as ever, both as a TV personality and as an automotive expert. As seen on her Instagram account, Faye splits her time between fixing cars, hosting All Girls Garage, and creating educational but entertaining content for her YouTube channel and TikTok accounts, the latter on which she's been the most active, sharing videos related to her projects and personal life. With over 300,000 followers combined on all her accounts, Faye's popularity has done nothing but grow ever since she appeared in All Girls Garage, though that doesn't mean she's abandoned her business at all. Her Texas-based Pistons and Pixie Dust body is as active as ever these days, except when she's away filming her show in Phoenix, Arizona. All in all, Faye Hadley is doing as well as ever and doesn't seem likely to stop anytime soon. Those who've been following Faye Hadley for some time surely remember that not only does she love fixing and rebuilding cars, but is also a fan of hitting the road with her Toyotas. That being said, the year 2022 saw her having a bad time during the Supra in Vegas event in October. According to an Instagram post she shared, her special edition 2021 Toyota GR Supra A91 was damaged when another car impacted it from the side. Although it's unclear if she was in the car when the accident happened, her husband Brandon was behind the wheel. He made it out safely with minor bruising and cuts. It could have been so much worse, and I'm so thankful to everyone who helped us. She wrote, adding that this wasn't the first time her Supra A91 has been involved in an accident, as back in 2021, Faye was rear-ended by a drunk driver, but fortunately made it out unscathed. Regarding the current state of her car, in late 2022, Faye answered some of her Instagram followers' questions and affirmed that despite having a total insurance coverage of her A91, race-related accidents were unfortunately not covered by her broker. Nonetheless, hopefully Faye will sort out all these issues and have her A91 back on the road again soon. Ever since its premiere in 2012, All Girls Garage has been known for featuring automotive projects equally complex and exciting. That being said, those who have tuned into the show from the start know well that the cast is ever-changing, having quite a good number of former hosts and mechanics who joined the show for one or several seasons. However, to date there's fortunately no sign of Faye Hadley and her current co-host Sarah Bogie Latner leaving the show anytime soon. In fact, Faye affirmed in an Instagram post in January 2023 that she and Bogie had already started filming season 13 after the previous one finished airing in December 2022. As we wait for new surprises to come in this latest All Girls Garage season, Faye has other exciting projects coming up. As she revealed in a YouTube video from late 2022, one of her main goals for 2023 is getting her beloved 1989 Toyota Supra back in shape to join several race events, including Supras in Vegas, after spending the last couple of years rebuilding it. Love for the automotive doesn't come out of nowhere, not for racers, designers, and especially not for technicians. This is the case of Faye Hadley, the host of All Girls Garage, who's also quite accomplished in her everyday career as a mechanic. Faye's love for cars started when she was a toddler, asking her parents for toy cars and decorating her cakes with construction vehicles. If you ask my mother, she would tell you I came out of the womb loving cars, going fast, and really, I loved anything with wheels, she said in an interview with Capri Tools. Although Faye's passion for cars only grew with time, she still followed her family's example in academics by accepting a scholarship to Harvard. Nonetheless, right after her first midterm on campus, Faye changed her mind, bought a Volkswagen GTI with her saved money, signed up for online classes for the rest of the semester, and started a road trip alone across the U.S. Faye eventually returned to college, but then her poor financial situation made it hard to fix her GTI's engine, which had exploded right after her return. Nonetheless, Faye's adventures hadn't ended just yet. Sweeping floors at a Volkswagen garage as an unpaid intern eventually allowed Faye to fix her GTI herself, but she still had a long way to go before following her call for the automotive back then. At 22 years old, Faye graduated with a Bachelor of Psychology from Harvard and was promptly hired as a therapist, but life wasn't quite what she envisioned it to be. "I loved helping people, but as a therapist, you just jump into people's lives. It was too intense for me," she told Motor Trend in 2020. While working as a therapist, she used her free time in training with a Rhode Island mechanic, but a life-changing piece of advice from her mother brought Faye lots of clarity on what she needed to do. She said, "Faye, you don't have anything to prove to anyone. You only have one life," as Faye told San Antonio magazine, admitting that she was happiest when she helped people by fixing their cars. Following her heart, Faye quit her job and moved to Portland, Oregon, where she initially had a hard time being hired due to her lack of professional background in the complex automotive industry. Passing from being an inexperienced newly graduated therapist to entering the trade business as a mechanic wasn't an easy choice, but it was surely worth it. After a rough start in Portland, Faye joined a local body shop as an intern, remaining in that position until the chance of being hired by a Toyota dealership came around. As she made her way in the car-fixing industry, great things happened to her. After expanding her educational background by joining a community college in a mechanical-related career, Faye became a master automobile technician by obtaining a certification granted by the National Institute of Automotive Service Experience. As time passed and Faye worked in several local businesses, something incredible caught her attention and inspired her to move her career forward. "What I noticed was that my customers followed me. They say they felt comfortable talking to me, so I started teaching basic automotive classes after work," she told San Antonio magazine in 2018. While becoming an educator was an unexpected but welcome expansion in her career, Faye eventually moved out of Oregon to establish herself in San Antonio, Texas. With a couple of years of experience as a mechanic and the right educational background, it wasn't hard for Faye Hadley to find a job as an engine builder in her new home in San Antonio. However, this new job position kept her away from interacting with customers, something Faye dearly missed. It wasn't long until she went back on her routes and started teaching automotive lessons on the side, achieving a huge success in a short time. "My students became my customers, and eventually I had too many customers to do it on the side," she told San Antonio magazine in 2018, the same year in which she completely quit her engine building job and officially started her business, Pistons and Pixie Dust, which nowadays offers courses specializing for women who want to learn the basics of mechanics. Nonetheless, instead of repairing any types of cars, Faye still has a clear mission in mind for her business. "I wanted to specialize in something so that I'd have the opportunity to learn it well, as opposed to being a more general technician who knows a little about everything," she told Capri Tools. Nowadays, Faye's Piston and Pixie Dust not only has an educational focus, but also serves as a repair shop for Lexus, Scions, and their parent company, Toyota. Greatest things were happening in Faye's career, including her YouTube channel steadily growing by offering her subscribers some simple but meaningful educational content about cars and mechanics in general, including do-it-yourself videos and vlogs. However, getting to a point where she had her own internet audience wasn't easy. When she launched the channel in 2013, her main mission was to spread her knowledge in the same way she learned her trade, thanks to other people on the video platform. It was helpful to skim through a YouTube video and get an idea of what the job would require, she told Capri Tools, referring to the time she had to work on cars which she had limited knowledge about. "Because I gained so much from the YouTube community, I decided I wanted to give back," she said. At some point, her videos generated so much traction that she became an internet celebrity, eventually attracting the attention of Motor Trend, which hired her as an all-girls garage host. It didn't take long for her to be hired for other projects, too, such as the spin-off Motor Mythbusters, which she co-hosted along with Bissy Ezerioa and Tori Bellecci. Nonetheless, no matter how much internet fame she gained, Faye remains humble and loyal to her passion of teaching. Any serious fan of everything automotive has a dream car, one that couldn't get out of their minds sometime for decades. Faye Hadley's dream car is the 1989 Toyota Supra, but unlike many people, she actually got her hands on one very early on. It was in 2013, when she was still in the early stages of her career as a mechanic, that Faye bought her 1989 Supra, with the goal of putting it back into shape and on the road again herself, something which wasn't actually possible due to several engine problems found in the car by the time it was supposedly completely restored in 2015. So Faye disassembled the car, thinking a mistake on her part had ruined the project, without realizing that the issue came from the only part of the engine she'd outsourced. Later, with more experience gained and renewed energy, Faye restarted her Supra's restoration, and this time took her due time on finishing it. I'm crazy. I spent 3 hours hand sanding the fuel rail, trying to get it just right. But why rush the process? Why not take the time to enjoy it? She said in an interview with Motor Trend. To this day, Faye's Supra is still a work in progress, but all the love and dedication Faye has put into it is what makes it worthwhile. One of, if not the most common question asked of women in the automobile industry is related to their experience in a male-dominated business. Faye Hadley is no exception. But even though she's openly admitted to not having experienced discrimination issues in her career, she also affirms that women and men have different ideas on how to deal with difficulties and frustrations. As she said in an interview with Capri Tools, "I will hear women blame themselves and wonder what is wrong with them, but when men find a job challenging, they blame the vehicle or the job itself." Faye's advice for women in this regard is about not self-doubting and taking it personally, as difficult and complex works are an everyday occurrence in the auto business. Overall, Faye is really a good example of what happens when one improves her abilities and skills for something they really love. Hopefully, her dedication to her craft will continue to attract amazing projects, which she will inevitably tackle with her normal gusto.
I think that's it. That was a lot of rambling. I hope that answers some questions for y'all. If you have any more questions, or if you have any comments, maybe you have your own mobile mechanic business and you do something different, leave them in the description below. There we go. Hope this helped. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time. Bye!
Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos, which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.